and he talks about his third eye, like and like selling your soul to the devil. That's like kind of
the Pepsi analogy he used, like where it's like any music artist that sells a product has like
sold their soul.
Yeah.
And I think I get it. You gotta make like I don't beat that. We were just having a discussion with Maddie because she likes Cardi B. And I listen to Cardi B. It's fun. It's almost like for me, it was like listening to Cardi B is like listening to like the Spice Girls or Britney Spears or something like that's in the background for in clubs and fun.
Doesn't she have like a ton of number one hits?
Yeah.
I've never heard her songs.
Yeah. No, I mean she does. She's got a ton. And for me, and it's not something I really love, but it's not something that bothers me. And it's like I said, when I was younger, when you're like a teenager, oh, Britney Spears sucks, but then you would hear it in the background at a party, and it was like, oh, that's kind of catchy. That's kind of you liked it, and it was for the party atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
So with Cardi B, I feel the same way, and like she's making money, she's out there doing all this thing, and hey, let the girl do her thing, even though I don't really like the music that much, or she's doing her thing, let her do it. But I think at one point or another that eye, the squeaky, the eye, the third eye opens up, and she's gonna I feel she's gonna realize, wow, I'm really just a puppet for entertainment for these industries. And I made my money, but did it really make me happy? Did I really impact people in a positive way? Which I think she does in some aspects about, she's supposed to be like feminist and empower women and things like that. Yeah. But I think when you put the money part into it and the selling the image, then you start losing a little bit of that positivity that
I mean, lucky for her, she could take her millions and just use them as tissues, as tears. Right. People that are trying to go her route and say, all right, I'm going to sell my soul and I'm going to do music that I wouldn't want to do.
Right.
I had said at one point, I would tour with Britney Spears playing music I hate just to get that experience to go on tour.
Right. And you're making money and you're at least playing music.
Did you see the movie La La Land?
No, Maddie was watching it the other day. I saw the ending.
Okay.
So I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I saw the ending, so you can tell me.
But so there's one point where he gets a gig where he can go on tour and he's doing his thing, and it's not really his thing.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so he's in conflict because he's doing it. He's touring. He's playing music, but it's not his music.
Yeah, and it goes back to your foundation of what really is gonna make you happy. Is it playing this music for entertaining people, or is it for some fulfillment that you're doing for yourself? So
yeah. All right. Well, I think now's a good time. We're gonna take a quick break.
All right.
And then we'll come back, do some trivia, and we'll talk about you and I, our experience playing in shows. And
okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll be back. Right. Don't go anywhere.
Scotty and I are having a great time making this podcast.
And we want to continue.
So please go on our Facebook page and give us some feedback.
Help get the word out.
And keep listening.
Also, check out another great podcast, The Espresso Boys.
Yeah, Brandon and Caleb talk about different topics. They're great guys, very entertaining, and they're actually very, very funny to listen to. I've listened to a couple of their episodes, and when I've been at work and just make the time go fly by. So
yeah, the topics they pick are really good and very funny. You can find them on iTunes, Google, SoundCloud. So check them out.
Wherever you can find podcasts, pretty much, right?
Right.
Awesome.
All right. Welcome back.
Hello.
You ready to do some trivia?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So I have assembled the best questions I can come up with from music. It's really hard.
Really?
Well, okay, you can go online and you can look up all these different music facts, but they're just regular facts. And how do you turn that into a trivia question? It's really hard. So I did the best I can. Good luck.
All right. I'm ready.
Number 1. Weird Al Yankovic parodied tons of great songs, from Beat It to Eat It, from Blurred Lines to Word Crimes, and even Gangsta's Paradise to Amish Paradise.
I love that one.
Which Coolio was not a fan of. Weird Al made it a habit to ask for the artist's permission, even though he didn't need it. And sometimes the artist would say no. Sir Paul McCartney said no to Weird Al when asked if Live or Let Die could be parodied into Chicken Pot Pie.
Chicken pot pie.
Was it because A, Paul McCartney is a vegetarian and he doesn't condone the eating of animal flesh? B, Paul McCartney wrote the song for a James Bond movie and didn't want to detract from the original? C, Paul McCartney did not want the song to be taken less seriously? Or D, Paul McCartney had just given Guns N' Roses permission to cover the song for the Use Your Illusion 1 album.
Wow. I like 1 and the last one.
So the first one, A, was The Vegetarian, and then the last one was the Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion.
Right. I know Paul McCartney is vegetarian.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
But I almost have it like I remember watching this documentary on Weird Al asking, and I remember the Coolio thing, and I remember something about Paul McCartney, or it might be a different. I know that Paul McCartney didn't want Michael Jackson using Revolution. For I think it was a Nike commercial or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I remember him being all upset about like how it's not going to be taken serious and a very serious topic, you know?
Right.
And so that's tough. You got me I'm gonna have to decide.
Yeah. So you got A, Vegetarian, B, James Bond, C, Sirius, and D, Guns N' Roses.
I'm gonna go with Vegetarian.
And you're right, Vegetarian.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, he said he didn't mind the parodying of the song, but he didn't like the idea that condoning eating the animal flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And he said if you want to do tofu pot pie, so
that's funny.
Yeah, all right, so that's one. Good job.
All right.
You just won. Congratulations.
All right, I won again.
Let's go again with number 2. In 1986, Run DMC was working on the third album, Raising Hell, when producer Rick Rubin suggested the group should collaborate with Aerosmith and their classic hit Walk This Way on a song. When Aerosmith and Run DMC got in the studio, however, not everyone got along, mostly Joe Perry.
Oh.
Steven Tyler recounts that at one point, the guys from Run DMC were in the studio huddled in the corner. Steven asked Joe what he thought the guys were doing, to which Joe said which of the following: A, probably playing dominoes. B, probably smoking crack. C, probably working on another stupid rap song. Or D, probably thinking what a mistake this is.
That sounds pretty racist to say. Probably playing dominoes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with probably playing dominoes.
Probably playing... No, actually, probably smoking crack.
Oh, wow, that's even
worse.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was that bad. So
right?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, and considering how well that song has done for both bands.
For both bands, yeah.
So Aerosmith at that point, I mean, they had hit songs.
And they found out that he said that, and they still did a show with him later on and everything, I guess.
You know, I didn't see whether or not, if they knew at that time, because this was like an after the fact. Like, I looked up about Walk This Way, about the Run DMC version.
Right.
And I want to know what the history of that song was. And it said, Steven recounts this happened.
Wow.
So this is like an after the fact thing.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, you got to imagine at the time, nobody was taking rock and rap and combining them together.
Yeah, that was pretty. I remember hearing that song. I loved it.
Yeah, who didn't?
Yeah.
Well, so you had this guy, Rick Rubin, who did the producing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what artists that he's done?
Rick Rubin? He's done a ton, right?
Yeah. I was looking at his list.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on.
Yeah.
And I know him from Beastie Boys. I mean,
right.
He was the reason that Beastie Boys got so big. Here's some others.
Didn't he do like Metallica too at one point or another?
Yeah. So he's I didn't write Metallica down, but I did see them on the list.
Yeah.
Weezer.
Yep.
Slipknot, Slayer, a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's worked on some.
Yeah, he's worked on all kinds of music and all kinds of albums. As the producer, he was like the producer to go to, I think, during.
Yeah, he had some great ideas. To get with the Beastie Boys, he got, I think it was Slayer to come in and do Fight for Your Right.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know that was Slayer.
Well, no, maybe it was No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah, you could hear the guitar.
Yeah, one of those songs I think is Slayer.
Okay, cool.
I should look it up one of these days, but I'm not going to. Okay, this is number 3.
Right.
Number 3. Sometimes you hear a song and think, wow, that was a really well-written song. I'm impressed that artist was able to write that. Then you find out it's a cover. Another artist wrote that song.
Yeah.
And your whole work comes crashing down.
It happens a lot, actually.
I know. So which of these songs is not a cover?
Okay.
All right. So you have A, Hard to Handle by Black Crowes.
Cover.
B, Don't You Ever by Spoon. C, Hurt by 9 Inch Nails. Or D, It's My Life by No Doubt.
It's not a cover, you said, right?
It's not a cover song.
Hurt. 9 Inch Nails.
You're right. It's Hurt. Right. I wrote that down because Johnny Cash covered it.
Yeah. But I knew that was their original. Yeah. I learned that song a long time ago, and
really,
yeah, it was a great song.
That's awesome. Yeah. So hard to handle. I thought that the song.
No,
was...
yeah, I knew that was a cover, and I know No Doubt covered.
Right.
It's My Life. It's an old 80s song, right?
I just went to go see Spoon in concert, which was amazing.
Those
guys,
great. I love
fantastic.
Spoon. I wish I would have gone with you.
You would have loved it. So this song, Don't You Ever, I thought was their song, and then I found out there's a band called The Natural History, and they have a song, Don't You Ever, and that's the only difference between the two. I mean, it's lyrics the same, the music's the same, but it's
just renamed it differently. Yeah, it happened to me. It happens to me a lot. I love these like Spanish singers. And then I find out that these are old ballad songs from, and I was like, oh, I thought that was, and you feel a little cheated. Oh, which reminds me, it was a real big fail for one artist. I love her. Her name's Natalia Lafourcade. And she covered a song from a Chilean artist and credited the song. She's like, oh, I made it. This is on like Facebook, I think. She put, here's me covering this great song by Mercedes Sosa, which is like a Argentinian singer, but it was really like a Chilean artist that that
originally did
it. And everybody corrected her, and she had to like go back and say, I'm so sorry. Like everybody was really pissed.
That's crazy. So if you noticed that all those questions revolved around covering. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to talk about you and I. We played in a cover band called The Yetis.
Yep.
And
we were Life O'Reilly first.
That's right. We also did Life O'Reilly.
Life O'Reilly, then it was the Yetis.
Yetis. Yeah, so we had a chance to go and learn all these other songs and then go out and play them. And we played these super long shows.
Yeah, they were like 3 to 4 hours. It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually like with the original bands you play
45 minutes.
45 minutes, 30 minutes tops, and then you're gone. But those shows were, you got the whole night.
Sometimes I wouldn't start till 11 at night, and then we're done at 2.
Right.
But at the same time, that place was packed, front
and
to back.
And they paid well. Well,
and they
paid originals don't really pay very often. So, yeah.
But so I wanted to get perspective of learning a cover song and go out and playing the song and getting received really well versus just recently you played a show where you had a CD release party and you were playing stuff that you came up with.
Right.
And that's your song and you're getting received really well.
Right.
And it's a different kind of success, accomplishment.
Right. Well, I think it's a different vibe when you're playing cover songs. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're with them on it. You're laughing with them. Like, this is a great song. Everybody, we like this. You're laughing with it. With the originals, you are the artist and you're expecting them to receive it. You know what I mean?
You're hoping they receive it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're hoping that they receive it, and if they laugh and they have a good time, then you're, oh, thank you. But it's different than when I'm playing a cover song. I'm like, yeah, this is a great song. Let's, all right, Green Day, all right, whatever band we're playing, and it's more of a crowd. You're with the crowd on that, and when you're originals, you're kind of exposing yourself and doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a totally different vibe. But I mean, when we played the cover bands, I did you do get eventually, for me, you get wore out of
doing the same songs,
doing the same song
over
one thing,
over.
And it wasn't even that much doing the same song. It was that idea of the crowd too, that if they're not digging it, they're like having conversations. You're just not paying any attention to you. They're not there for you. With originals, it's not that they're there for you, but they're there to hear something different, new, and there's a different type of crowd. There's a crowd that is there to figure something new, and when they like it, it's great. But in covers, if they like it, it's pretty much, we like you, but we really just like that band or that song.
Yeah. Well, I feel with the originals, you're trying to entertain them with your songs versus being a live jukebox.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not knocking the cover, because I do enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fun.
But there's a different feeling of accomplishment where I'm playing a song and I see someone's into it, and
right.
I did something where I introduce you to something new, and you're experiencing it. And
Right,
fun.
right. It's almost like a painting and just a photo